1 second, please.
Please, Mr. Kennedy, I don't want to go.
Hello and welcome to the FilmPulse.net podcast. This is episode number 103. My name is Adam. With me today we have Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing good.
Doing good. Ready for some Super Bowl action?
Sure.
I just watched a failed or a rejected Tim and Eric Super Bowl promo, and it was hilarious.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Today we'll be going over some of what we've been watching before getting into a discussion about the Oscar nominations, and we'll maybe throw in some predictions there too. Finally, we'll be going over this week's movie predictions, new on video on demand, and DVD and Blu-ray releases. Might throw some news in there too, because there were some trailers that I wanted to talk about that came out. One specifically. Let's go ahead and jump into what we've been watching. Kevin, we'll start with you this week.
Oh, where should I start? Because we haven't done this in a long time.
Yeah, just maybe some highlights.
Some highlights.
Or some lowlights.
Oh.
Because I definitely have some lowlights for
right.
this week.
I have a low light, which this was a while back, but we didn't get to talk about it, and I really thought that you would get a kick out of me watching this, and that's Devil's Pass.
Ugh.
The Rennie Harlan movie. And one of the main reasons I've watched this was just to get your reaction. You know, when I told you that I watched it, because I knew that you would be completely surprised.
I was definitely surprised.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was from co-workers. I was sort of hounded into watching this, and I made the mistake of promising them that I would watch it.
I just find it interesting that out of all the movies in existence, why were they so hell-bent on you watching that one specifically?
Well, we were talking before we get a 2-week paid vacation around Christmas time. So before that, I was talking about how, usually on that break, I spend one day just watching movies, where I'll just sit and watch movies all day for 8 hours. And so when we came back from break, the one guy was like, yeah, I watched a movie over break, and it was called Devil's Pass. I just kept my mouth shut because I knew you hated it. And I knew if you hated it, I would hate it even more because you're a little more forgiving.
Yeah.
And so I just sat there quietly, and then, of course, another coworker saw it because of it, and then they wouldn't talk about it until I watched it, and then they kept hounding me. So, and then just to make the hounding stop, I reluctantly agreed that I would watch it.
How did the conversation go after you watched it?
Well, the one guy knew I would hate it because he makes fun of me and says that I'm a contrarian, and that if anyone likes a movie, I will automatically hate it, which is not true.
Okay.
But of course, in this case, it's true because it's a shit movie. Come on.
Well, but the thing, that doesn't make you a contrarian because a lot of people didn't like that movie.
Yeah,
most people didn't like that movie.
Well, it mostly stems from Gravity and The Wolf of Wall Street. And then they made the thing where they were saying, what movie would you suggest to us? And then the one guy said, and don't suggest a foreign movie where I have to watch subtitles because I'm not interested in that shit. So then I followed that up with, well, for you guys, I would suggest, and then they made fun of me or saying that I had to preface my suggestion with the words, you guys, which I think I'm completely in my right to do that because you said you won't watch subtitles.
Yeah, I mean, like, when someone asks me, hey, I'm looking for a movie to watch, I'll say, okay, well, for you, I would suggest this. Like, it's not, I don't mean it in any sort of negative way.
Yeah.
I look at, okay, well, I know that they liked this movie and that movie, and I know kind of what they're into, so I'm going to suggest something based on that.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's a negative thing to say.
No, but I think they take it as like, I guess they're looking at me as sort of like an elitist. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be, but it's just, if you're not going to watch subtitles, then I have to cater to your non-subtitle watching, which is bullshit.
Or you could give them a movie that has subtitles that they will assuredly like.
I've been trying that.
Maybe change their whole view on it.
I've been trying to get them to watch the original Oldboy and The Raid.
Yeah, The Raid is a good one because there's not a lot of dialogue and
because they hear the word subtitles and they're like,
Oh, they're missing
I
out.
don't want to. I'd rather do found footage or by Rennie Harlan.
It's not even good found footage
No,
horror
it's
either.
terrible. And the whole found footage element falls apart at the end, and that ending is just ridiculous. I forgot that we were supposed to be talking about this movie. But the story behind why I watched this is actually more interesting than the actual movie itself. I mean, I
Yeah,
will give kudos to Rennie Harlan for like sticking to the facts with what takes place in
sort of.
yeah, what takes place in Devil's Pass. But it just he there's so many theories out there as to what happened, so it seems like he couldn't pick one, and he was like, let's
No.
just throw them all in there.
There's Yetis. There's
And
Yetis in that movie.
there were fucking Yetis. And I mean, the main thing I hate about found footage is the whole like being obsessed with the ladies and the let's make a sex tape
That does happen
in like
a
every
lot.
single one, and they think it's funny or they think it's clever. I don't know what the hell they think it is, but it's so played out and just stupid. And then I also wonder what like how did they cut in the footage from the guy's cell phone?
Well, that's the big issue I have with found footage is the logic behind it. Like
Yeah.
they're constantly having to justify why they're recording and how they're recording, but oftentimes it'll just fall apart because there's bound to be at least one thing where you're just like, well, how did they get that shot?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
And I this is a bit of a spoiler, but I don't care because the movie's shit, so I'm gonna spoil it. When they get to the wormhole, so yes, you've heard Yetis and wormhole already about
Mm,
this movie. When they get to the wormhole and they're like, okay, and they're figuring out like, okay, what we'll probably do is we'll walk through and we'll think of a place that we were just at and we'll probably transport to that place. What I would like to know is why would you pick the outside of the bunker? Okay, it took you 3 days to hike there. You lost all your gear. You're in like a t-shirt and pants. You're going to die. There's no way you're surviving. Even if the wormhole works and you get outside the bunker, there's no way you're making it back. You're gonna die.
yeah.
That's just it didn't make any sense to me. It's like, well, you might as well just sit and chill by the wormhole and die.
There's a lot of that movie that just doesn't make any sense. I think I did I write a review for that? I'm pretty sure I did.
I think you did.
I think I did. I don't know what I gave it, but
Plus the CGI at the end was just it looked like a video game, like a PlayStation 2 game. It was so terrible.
yeah, it's not too good.
And
I didn't like it at all.
and I don't understand when your CGI is that bad, your effects are that bad. Like there's one sequence where they show it like up close, and I'm just wondering why would you do that? You know it looks terrible.
I gave it a 4 out of 10, which is pretty generous
I give it a 3.
because I hated it. So I think one of the things that made me score it a little bit higher was just the fact that this is kind of an unexplained thing, and
Yeah,
that intrigues me.
that intrigues me too, and that's why I said I do give a little credit to Harley because he sort of kept to what actually happened, which is interesting. And then he does go to some interesting places at the end that really caught me off guard, but just its execution was so terrible. And the way he just threw like everything in.
Yeah, he definitely took a kitchen sink approach
Oh
to
my God.
it. Everything.
All of it.
One that was a kind of a disappointment for me that I saw this week was 24 Exposures, which is Joe Swanberg's latest.
Hmm.
I guess technically not his latest. It's one of the latest. This came out on video on demand this week, and this was a big disappointment for me. I don't know if other people are liking this. I don't think other people are liking this. But so basically, it's kind of a murder mystery I think that it's supposed to be like harkening back to like pulp crime novels,
Hmm.
but it doesn't work because it doesn't look like a pulp crime novel. Like they use it just goes back to how Swanberg and all those guys used to make movies where everything looked really shitty.
Hmm.
And it looks like it was one of those things where they just kind of threw it together in a weekend. And the story is not that interesting. The acting is terrible. Just everything about it was really disappointing to me because I felt like Adam Weingart and Joe Swanberg and Simon Barrett and all these guys are really starting to make headway in their career. Like they're starting to break out into like more mainstream stuff, and their movies are looking better. They're more complex.
Yeah, but they do seem to usually follow that up with a step back, it seems
Yeah.
like.
And maybe that's fine. I mean, this certainly isn't gonna. I don't think that this is gonna have some sort of adverse effect on their careers because I didn't get to see Happy Christmas at Sundance, but I heard that it's good, and that's directed by Joe Swanberg and Adam Weingart, who stars in this movie. He doesn't direct it or anything, but he's starring in it. His latest movie, The Guest, I liked a whole lot at Sundance, and Simon Barrett co-stars in this. He's the writer of You're Next and The Guest and all those. So it's just not very good. Basically, it's about Adam Weingart plays a photographer who's he's like a fetish photographer. So he sets up the models as if they were like corpses in various ways and takes pictures of them.
Hmm.
And Simon Barrett plays a detective who is investigating these murders that are taking place. These girls are getting murdered, and the two kind of work together in a way. They kind of form this unlikely friendship.
Oh, do they learn from each other?
Not really.
Oh,
Not really.
darn it. I was hoping they would learn from each other.
It's just bad. It's really poorly made. It seems like it's just some sort of excuse to show a lot of sex on camera. And I didn't like it at all. It's difficult for me to say that because I really like everybody involved.
Yeah, they just let you down.
Yeah. Big letdown.
Big letdown. I watched the original Born Identity. Well, not the
Oh, really?
No, the Matt Damon one. I'm sorry. Isn't this like a reboot or something? Wasn't there a Born before this?
There was
Okay.
a Born Identity. I don't remember when it came out, like in the 70s.
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna watch this trilogy this year. It's a trilogy, right? I have no idea what's going on with Born.
Sort of. There's three with Matt Damon, and then
Okay.
there's the new one with Jeremy Renner.
Okay.
So there's four.
Yeah. See that? Those things always confuse me. I can't keep up with these trilogies, and then they're rebooted like a year later before you can even forget about the first one.
You can probably skip the Renner one
Okay.
because that one's not good, but the other ones are.
This one was not too bad. I had a big problem with it being like 2 hours long because it felt like a trailer, really, for a Bourne movie that I'm excited to see, and then I realized that I just spent 2 hours watching one, but it didn't feel like it. I don't know, it's kind of hard to get at what it feels like an introduction. Like they're getting you up to speed, just like teasing you for 2 hours though.
Yeah.
Because like as soon as the movie starts, I'm like, I know exactly what happens. As soon as they show him like floating in the ocean, I'm like, okay, he's gonna wake up. He's not gonna know who he is, and then he's gonna find out who he is, and then they're gonna come after him, and he's gonna get away. And that's exactly what happens. It's all so unbelievably telegraphed.
Yeah, but you
So
gotta remember,
predictable.
you gotta remember that this came out in 2002, and when this came out, the action in this movie was like completely new. Like,
I did enjoy all the fight scenes and stuff. The only thing I hated about it was the sound of the fight scenes. You know, it sort of has that old school kung fu movie where the sounds they don't match to what's happening and they're entirely too loud. Where it sounds like they're slapping each other, but they're punching each other in the face.
yeah, I don't remember. I remember almost nothing of that movie. For some reason, with like spy thrillers like that, I don't retain them.
Yeah.
Like I forget plot lines.
But it was interesting to see Matt Damon look so ridiculously young in this film. I mean, he
Yeah.
looks like he's 19 years old. And the weird thing is Chris Cooper looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know how Matt Damon has aged that much from 2002 to now. It looks like he's grown like 40 years. It's very
Yeah.
bizarre. And then there's the whole, and I don't know how much of you remember from this movie. And I mean, I watched this a while back and I pretty much forget everything. But I love they introduced the Clive Owen character. And he like puts sunglasses on. He's one of the like assassins that's gonna kill Bourne. And they're building him up and you think he's like, oh my God, this guy is a badass. This is gonna be so great when they finally meet each other in Tango. And it's like the most anticlimactic thing I've ever seen. It's just Clive Owen standing like in like a little valley type deal, trying to kill Bourne, and then Bourne just sneaks up behind him and shoots him, and then it's done. I think
Sometimes,
Clive Owen has like one line of dialogue.
sometimes I like it when they do that in movies, though.
I actually did enjoy it too. It just made me chuckle.
So you liked it overall then?
I liked it overall. I mean, I think it did what it was supposed to do. It got me amped to actually watch a Jason Bourne movie. Like, I didn't feel that that was a Jason Bourne movie. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
it just felt like a trailer for me. And now I'm ready to watch one. It
Cool.
just sucked that it was 2 hours long.
Well, you'll have to let us know what you think of the other two.
I don't even know what they're called. Like, one's like
It's
Ultimatum.
Yeah,
And,
Born Supremacy and Born Ultimatum.
okay,
I think Ultimatum is the next one, and then Supremacy is the third one,
awesome.
and then Born Legacy is the fourth one, I believe.
Ooh, awesome.
Now the fourth one, see the first three are based on the books. The fourth one, the one with Jeremy Renner, is not.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah,
That should not be done.
they're talking about bringing Matt Damon back into the series,
Uh-oh.
so I don't. They might do that. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I saw a pretty cool movie called Rigor Mortis. This is one that I've been kind of waiting to see for a while. It's a Chinese film. First time director, his name's Juno Mak, and it's kind of a modern take on the '80s Chinese vampire story.
Okay.
And the first thing about this movie, it is beautiful. The visuals in this movie are incredible, almost to a fault, where it's like everything looks almost too good.
Okay.
When I was watching it, it kind of reminded me of the Night Watch and Day Watch movies.
Okay.
Remember those, the
Yeah.
Russian ones?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminded me of that, where the visuals are just like just so intense and amazing looking. And it starts off really slow. It's kind of plodding at the beginning, but it picks up the pace near the end, and I really enjoyed it. It was really fun and really creepy. A lot of weird stuff. I mean, there's not just vampires in it. It's not like a kind of a traditional vampire movie.
Okay.
There's like ghosts and there's like magic, and they kind of create a vampire out of this dead guy, and he gets possessed by these two ghosts, and it's just crazy. It is a crazy movie, and it's awesome. Like the action in it, there's a good bit of action in it, like hand to hand, like martial arts, and that looks good. There's some wire work going on.
Sounds interesting.
The CG is actually really impressive.
Is
Like the effects work looks really good.
Is there CG blood?
Probably
so-
some, not a lot though. I mean, it's not all CG blood.
Okay.
Like, they mix it up. They use some CG blood, but a lot of it's practical.
Okay.
But it's awesome. I highly recommend it.
Okay. That does sound very interesting.
I think you would probably like it just from a visual standpoint.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Okay. I watched a crazy movie from 1971, which is Andrei Zawalski's debut feature called The Third Part of the Night. Uh, this is completely out there. This is he co-wrote this with his dad, and it's a Polish film where it takes place in Nazi-occupied Poland, where a lot of the director's father is one of them. The way they got out of like the concentration camps and everything was to spend time at this institute where they manufactured typhus vaccines by being lice feeders, which I've never heard of this. So I was immediately intrigued. So what they do is for like an hour of every day, they would strap little boxes to their legs that had lice in them, and they would let the lice feed on their blood.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, I mean, so this is, got them out of the concentration camps and everything. So they could develop these vaccines. So they only had to do it for an hour, and then like the rest of the day they were sort of, in this institute where they were mostly like scholars and, philosophers and those types of people. And so the film is sort of about that, but one of the side effects of typhus is that you have like these hallucinations and sort of like fever dream type deal. So the weird thing that Zawalski does is he sort of has the film have that kind of mindset where it almost feels like the film itself is suffering from typhus. So it's just completely batshit insane. And it's all over the place. The visuals are amazing. The narrative's just all over the place. It's difficult to follow, but I don't think that they were really worried about narrative here. It's just a very, very interesting movie about something that I didn't even know existed. The whole lice feeder thing during during World War II, which I mean, it's so interesting. Just that aspect of it.
Hmm.
I suggest you check this one out. The only problem is that you can't. It's not available in the U.S. This is one of the I got this from the UK.
I have an all region, so I can see it. I can import it.
Do it.
I saw Interior Leather Bar,
Fantastic.
directed by James Franco and Travis Matthews. I think this is technically a short film. It's only about an hour long. And so we talked about this before. It's sort of a reimagining of the 40 minutes that were cut from the movie Cruising, the William Friedkin movie, where apparently it was like a very explicit scene in a bar where there was unsimulated sex happening between men. Now, I thought going into this that it was just going to be that, like it was just going to be the 40 minutes that were cut reimagined by James Franco. But what it is it's sort of this kind of experimental documentary of sorts where rather more than just them recreating that scene, it was kind of like Franco was trying to make a statement about how we view sex in cinema.
Okay.
And how for some reason it like inherently makes us uncomfortable.
Okay.
And it was sort of like because he got all these actors to be in this scene, right? And he hired his friend to be the Pacino character, but he didn't tell anybody anything about what they were doing. Like he gave them kind of the broad strokes, but he didn't really get into the details. And he filmed all like the making of and kind of explored, and like he would interview the guy and kind of get his thoughts, and like this guy would get kind of uncomfortable around it, and it was just kind of an exploration of that feeling. So it was much more than just them recreating this one specific scene. It was like an experiment on why we feel uncomfortable when we watch sex on film.
Mm.
So it was actually really interesting, and I actually liked it quite a bit. But of course there is you do see the scene, and there is a lot of gay sex happening. Unsimulated.
Oh my.
But yeah, it was a lot more different than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had the understanding that it was just recreating the 40 minutes from Cruising. And that was it.
Yeah, it's not that. It's what they do is so they'll be interviewing all the actors and stuff and getting the scene set up, and then like they shoot the scene, and then you see part of it, and then like you they'll go back to the documentary style and be talking about what they're doing, and then they'll show another part of it, and they'll have like they'll just follow this guy around as he's talking to like his wife and his friend who thinks he shouldn't be doing it and that it's going to ruin his career and all this stuff, and it's really interesting. Yeah,
I'm not gonna watch it, but that's interesting.
I mean, it's only an hour long, so it's not like you have to dedicate a lot of time to it.
I know, but I'm dedicating my time to James Franco. I don't want to do that. I made that mistake before, and I won't make it again.
I like Franco.
I like Franco. I just don't like his directorial efforts.
I also like the fact that so many people just blindly follow him into doing something like this. Because like the guy was like, I'm only doing this for James. I'm only doing it for him. And like all these other people were just like, yeah, James Franco's involved. Is he going to be here? Yeah, I'll make out with the guy. Whatever.
I'm surprised. Well, maybe he does. I was gonna say I'm surprised he doesn't have a cult by now. But maybe
a what?
A cult.
I don't know.
But I think maybe he does.
Maybe.
It seems like he does. He seems like the type of person that could easily have a cult.
Yeah.
Like he could make that happen.
He's a pretty charming guy.
In like an hour, he could have a following.
That's his next project.
Yeah.
That's his next experimental project to see.
I could see him doing that too.
If he can create a cult.
I would not be surprised if that played, in like 2 years at the festivals.
I'd watch it.
I probably would too.
The Cult of Franco.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God. Keep an eye out for that. We just predicted it, I think.
Yep.
I finally watched Inside Llewyn Davis, which
Cool.
we didn't really get a chance to talk about, and my fears were solidified. I didn't like the music, which was a bummer. But at the same time, like I wrote on Letterboxd that I didn't like the music, and everyone thinks that, I don't know, I get the sense that people think that I hated the music, but like it's difficult to try to explain this. I respect it. I appreciate it. I can see why people enjoy it, and it is good music. It's just not my type of thing. But it didn't take me out of the film. It wasn't like I didn't like this film because of the music.
Right.
I didn't like this film because of the meandering middle, the whole like Chicago trip with John Goodman. I was just bored to tears. I loved the beginning. I loved the end. I like the cyclical nature of it. How the beginning was the end and the end was the beginning. I liked everything with the Gore finds cat, with the two cats, and how Llewyn is the cat in a sense. And Oscar Isaac was absolutely amazing in this film. And I was sort of bummed out every time he wasn't in a scene.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I thought he was perfect, and Carey Mulligan I did not like in this film at all.
I wasn't that into her either in this, honestly.
I couldn't get past her terrible swearing. Like when she announces that she's pregnant and she's so pissed off at him, it felt so wrong. It didn't work for me. It doesn't seem like something that she can pull off. I don't know why, but
I don't know. Maybe that was part of the character, since she's this kind of wholesome folk singer.
yeah, could be.
Maybe it was for her character. It wasn't like her to swear. She wasn't used to it. She doesn't do it very much.
Could be. It's an interesting idea. And I did like the fact that it sort of feels like it's structured like a song, like the beginning and ending could be
Well, yeah,
the
that's what I
chorus.
was gonna. Yeah,
And,
that's
like,
what I was gonna
you know-
say actually about the Chicago trip, because to me that felt like it was part of a folk song. Singing about this weird road trip you took to Chicago, and the whole movie felt like a folk song to me. Like he was living a folk song.
Yeah. I did like the Please Mr. Kennedy song.
Adam Driver.
That was the only. And I love that the Coen brothers don't really give you any context going into that scene. Oscar Isaac and Timberlake are just sort of discussing the song, and you just sort of hear in the background Driver making all of his weird noises. It's just like, what the fuck is up with that guy? And then when they do the song, like, I completely just toned out everyone else except for Driver. Because his portions of the song were fantastic. But To me, the Chicago trip, I couldn't get past it. It went on way too long. I didn't like the structure and the execution of it either. Just sort of, like one brief scene, cut to another brief scene,
Mm-hmm.
cut to another brief scene, and it's just like, come on, get, let's get
See,
into
that
something
didn't
here.
bother me at all. That's weird.
I mean, it was an enjoyable film. I enjoyed myself. I just don't, I think it's, one of Coen Brothers' lesser films. I don't think it's an important Coen Brothers film.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think it's like their best or anything, or even in their top five.
Yeah.
I saw a movie called Grand Piano. This just came out on video on demand this weekend, and it's really, I actually liked this a lot more than I thought I would. It's directed by Eugenio Mira, and it stars Elijah Wood as a concert pianist, very famous concert pianist who 5 years prior he had a meltdown like on stage, and he kind of left the limelight. He stopped playing publicly, and he comes back for this big concert honoring his mentor.
Yeah.
And when he gets on stage, starts playing, there's a note on his sheet music that says basically if he plays a wrong note, he's dead. And he discovers that there's someone that is pointing a sniper rifle at his face,
Okay.
and he can't play one wrong note or else they'll kill him or kill his wife who's in the audience.
Okay.
And John Cusack plays the sniper, the person.
This feels like it sort of sounds like phone booth,
It,
but
it's
in
it's like phone booth, but
but in a
it's so
concert
much
hall.
it's so much better. It's the most ridiculous premise ever, but the way that it's shot, the cinematography in this, it's almost like it's very Hitchcockian the way that it's shot, and the music obviously plays a very big part in it as well.
Yeah.
And I love the way that it looked. It's very fast. It's a very fast-paced movie because the whole thing basically takes place during this concert. So everything moves very quickly. And at one point he gets an earpiece, and like John Cusack's basically threatening him
As
as he's playing. So he's like playing this really complex music. All the while, John Cusack's like, "I'm gonna kill your wife. She's dead." All this stuff, and it's like you're not helping, man. You're not helping. But it's very suspenseful as well. There's one scene where he tries to call someone for help, so he's like trying to like sneak his phone out and call somebody while he's playing without anybody seeing. And then there's another scene where he tries to send a text message while he's playing, and that scene's incredibly tense. Alex Winter is in
I
this
was
too.
gonna say, I saw
Yeah.
that he's in it. I also see that it's written by the guy that directed Whiplash.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I wanted to mention. It is written by the guy that wrote and directed Whiplash. So the music aspects of this are incredible. Like they're on point. I mean, all the music complements the scene. It just amps up the tension.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they did it, but it looks like Elijah Wood is actually playing this stuff. Normally in movies you can always tell when somebody's fake playing an instrument, but in this it's like because there's a lot of the takes are really long in this, not a lot of cuts,
Yeah.
and they use that kind of like swooping moving camera where it's always kind of moving around, and it looks amazing. But they'll pan up and down, like, and you'll just see him playing, and it looks so real. And they did the same thing in Whiplash when Miles Teller was playing the drums. Like, it just looked completely believable. And maybe he was playing some of it, maybe, I don't know, maybe he was just pretending, but it looked really awesome. And Alex Winter plays kind of John Cusack's partner, sort of, and he's awesome in it too. So it really surprising how much I liked this. It wasn't amazing, like it didn't blow me out of the water or anything, but
Yeah.
it is a solid thriller, and the finale kind of loses me a bit, but it plays out very similarly to a Hitchcock film or a De Palma film, so I can't really knock it too much for that.
Yeah.
But definitely recommend
It sounds
Grand Piano.
it sounds like you were surprised. You were taken
I
back.
was, yeah. Also, the director of the film is the composer for Time Crimes, so he has a background in music as well.
Oh, geez. All sorts of connections.
Yeah,
All sorts of connections.
yeah. So definitely recommend that one.
I have one that I highly recommend, and it's much like Inside Llewyn Davis. You know how we kept wanting to say Inside Llewyn Davis?
Mm-hmm.
This one's called Mikey and Nicky, and I always want to call it Mickey and Nicky.
Hmm.
But this is from Ellen May from 1976. Peter Falk, John Cassavetes play two childhood best friends. They're in the mob together, and John Cassavetes is holed up in this like seedy hotel because he thinks someone put out a hit on him. He thinks that there's someone out there trying to kill him. So he calls up his childhood friend, which is Peter Falk, to sort of help him get out of this predicament that he's in. And when you're introduced to John Cassavetes, he seems like he's snapped. Like he's a bit manic. He's all over the place. He's like suffering from an ulcer. He's just extremely paranoid. He's just out of control, really. So you're right off the bat, you're thinking, oh, this guy's just crazy. There's no one after him. And Peter Falk is just the guy just trying his best to, keep him calm and try and, help him in this situation. But then quickly into it, you realize that Peter Falk is actually trying to lure his friend out into the open so he can be killed. So you find out very quickly that there is a hit out on him, and his best friend, his childhood friend, is actually trying to lure him out in the open to get him killed.
Mm.
So what ends up playing out is Peter Falk has this, plan with the assassin, but it always gets messed up by Cassavetes because he's just a loose cannon. He's all over the place. He can't keep up with them. He can't keep them in one place. He can't get them to the place that they need to be at the right time. And what turns into is sort of those two spending like Cassavetes' last day together. So, any of those films because what just came out like last year, wasn't there a film like Old Time Gangsters?
Yeah, wasn't it, what was that? Was it not Stand Up Guys? Was it not that?
I think it might have been that.
Yeah, it might have been Stand Up Guys, I think.
It's pretty much that premise. Like, he's going to kill this guy at the end of the night, and they're just sort of like reminiscing. They go and visit Cassavetes' mother's tombstone, all that type of stuff. And it's all like just these two guys talking to one another. That's pretty much the entire film. And the weird thing is it feels like a Cassavetes film, but it's not, which is odd. But Peter Falk and John Cassavetes give like an unbelievable performance, both of them. It's pitch perfect the way that these two guys interact. Like, you honestly think that these guys have been friends since they were kids. And just the way that they deal with their relationship is perfect. Because everything's sort of taken as like an attack on the other person, and they bicker and fight. And it has a lot of the type of, small talk that you hear in like Tarantino's films.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 119 minutes of that. Just constant small talk, bickering, fighting, paranoia. It's just, I can't recommend this movie enough. It's unbelievable. Loved it. Just to see Peter Falk and John Cassavetes on screen together.
No, I saw a whole bunch of stuff this week, but I'm not like it was all like user submitted stuff. So if you want to see some more reviews that I wrote, you can go to the site and check that out. But the last one that I wanted to talk about was a movie called After the Dark. So basically, God, this movie is so bad. I can't even articulate
What's
how.
this called?
It's
The
called After the
Philosophers?
Dark. It's called After the Dark now. It was formerly called The Philosophers.
Okay.
So the basic premise is it's a group of students, high school seniors in Jakarta. They're in like some sort of international school,
Okay.
and they are in a philosophy class. And as kind of a final project on like the last day of school, the teacher kind of proposes this hypothetical situation where they all get a job. Each student gets a job and a trait, a personality trait about them. And what they have to do is there's a nuclear fallout. There's bombs have gone off. The entire world is going to be completely irradiated, and they're at a fallout shelter. There's only 10 beds in the shelter, so they need to decide who goes into the shelter, lives for a year, and then repopulates humanity, and who stays outside.
Okay. Can't they just sleep on the floor?
It's kind of, no, because there's only enough air.
Okay.
They would be able to ration the food, but there's not enough air.
Okay.
So it's kind of an interesting concept, but in execution, it is the biggest piece of shit ever. There are so many plot holes in this movie. And the first thing that's probably going to hang people up is the fact that there's no risk. Because this is all fantasy.
Okay.
It's all just a group of students in a classroom going over this hypothetical situation, and it will cut, from the classroom into this fantasy world that's in their imagination.
Okay.
So there's never any kind of consequence to their actions. And they fail several times, and then they just redo it again. So there's actually like 3 redos in the movie. But the thing that's so flawed about this movie is it's all supposed to be about philosophy.
Okay.
And the teacher will kind of throw curveballs at him, but that in and of itself basically negates the whole point of the exercise, because these kids work together to figure out who should go in there and who shouldn't, but then he just makes something up, like arbitrarily just makes up an event that'll happen, that'll just make them lose immediately.
What a dick.
Yeah, and he is a dick. And some of the things that happen are so inappropriate, where I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, there's a scene, because the teacher himself is playing too. Like,
he's part of the group as well.
Yeah, he's one of the characters as well. So he's playing a role, and he plays like he's the wild card, but he plays like the biggest dick ever. Like, there's a scene where he tries to rape
Jesus Christ,
one of the female students, and I'm just like, holy shit! Like, how is this being taught in a high school classroom? And also, he mentions at the beginning of the game that this is a big part of your grade. And the whole time I'm like, how's he grading these people?
Yeah.
Because it's completely random what job they get. And like, the one kid is a gelato maker, and like the one person's like a poet. And every time they redo the game, that person gets kicked out right away. So it's like, what, does he fail just because he drew the wrong card? And then, to make matters even worse, so one of the biggest plot holes that I found in the movie, and there's tons.
I can think of a huge one right off the bat.
So the third time that they do the game, the one girl figures out like the code to get out of the fallout shelter, and this is like a big plot point.
Why is there a code to get out? Why would you want to get out?
Because after a year you can leave.
Okay, everything's cleaned up.
But it's protected by a keypad to prevent people from accidentally opening the door.
Okay.
So she puts in the code, and they were like, well, how did you know the code? And they do a flashback to the second time that they were playing, when she watched the guy put in the code. So it's like, okay, well, how, if this is a whole new scenario and these people are doing this for the first time, how can she remember what they did in a previous life, in a previous scenario?
Can't do that.
It's ridiculous. And it's a huge part of the movie too. So it's like, that's, again, negates the whole exercise.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, as soon as you sort of gave me the premise here, one of the biggest things is there's not enough air for 10, there's only enough air for 10 people, right?
Yeah.
And they have to repopulate the earth. So when they have new children, there's not enough air for the children.
Well, that's, they begin reproducing after the year of being in there.
Oh, okay.
Now, not everybody survives, so in one of the scenarios, there were only 9 people in there, so like the one girl had a kid, or she was pregnant when they left the
Gotcha.
bunker or whatever. It's terrible. Like
This-
it is. I couldn't even believe what I was watching.
Now, unfortunately, you made me want to watch it. So we can discuss it more.
Yeah,
This sounds
it's
terrible.
It's really, really bad. Like I said, premise is interesting.
Execution is god awful.
In reality, it is just so terrible. All the characters unlikable. The acting is really awful, just awful. And the whole movie looks like it was shot on a green screen. Like everything looks ridiculous.
Great.
So
This sounds great.
yeah, I'll have a review for that up probably on Thursday.
Why? Just write that it's shit. Just one sentence.
Well, you can go to Letterboxd and see some pretty negative reviews on there.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
All right, let's go. I want to talk about some couple news items real quick. This week it was announced that Jesse Eisenberg is going to be playing Lex Luthor in Batman vs Superman. What do you think about that?
Oh, I don't care. I guess that's interesting.
But you were a fan of Man of Steel.
I enjoyed it, but I'm not really excited to see a Batman that's Superman. I'm not interested.
Not interested?
I'm not, yeah. I mean, are you?
No. I mean, I'm curious. Like, it's a comic book movie, so I am
You're already in.
I'm kind of naturally drawn to it.
Gotcha.
And when they announce like weird casting, that always has me more interested. You know what I mean? Like, because when they were talking about who's going to play Lex Luthor, everybody was like, "Oh, Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston should play him." And I was like, "Yeah." So if they announced Bryan Cranston, I'd be like, "Yeah, cool." But they announced Jesse Eisenberg. Now I want to see this movie because I want to see what he's going to do with that character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people were just like, "Psh, no, that is not going to work."
I hope he plays him as neurotic.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I think in the little news post I wrote, I think it'd be interesting to see Lex Luthor as like a Mark Zuckerberg, because that's what it would be nowadays, right?
But that's true. But it is interesting, and I'm glad to see Eisenberg sort of do something different, because I think he was getting sort of typecast there for a while.
I think it'll be interesting. I mean, between him being Lex Luthor and Ben Affleck being Batman, it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a pretty interesting movie to see. And they also announced that Jeremy Irons is gonna be playing Alfred.
Okay.
And that's normal to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I hope
That's dope.
I'm interested to see if like Eisenberg bulks up for the movie. I think that would be very bizarre.
I don't know. I don't think he has to, because I don't think Lex Luthor needs to be.
I don't think he has to, but there's a part of me that hopes that they make him.
Well, maybe they might. I don't know.
I just think that would be bizarre.
I don't know. Also, I wanted to mention the A Million Ways to Die in the West trailer.
Yes.
Was released this week. The Red Band trailer.
Yes, please.
This is Seth MacFarlane's upcoming comedy, and I'll tell you, like, I was already interested in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
After watching this Red Band trailer, I think that it's probably gonna go on my list of most anticipated of 2014.
Yes. And I will say again that I love his inspired use of Ribisi.
Yeah.
Ribisi was so bizarre, creepy, funny in Ted, and it looks like more of the same in this one.
Yep. So they released 8 character posters, and then the next day they released the Red Band trailer, and the Red Band trailer, if you haven't seen it yet, is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
It is so funny. I was rolling.
I love the bit with the ice.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that they have their dialect is like modern.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, I love that he doesn't even try.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
And I love the fact that it's an entire movie basically making fun of how dangerous it was to live back then.
Yes.
I find that concept to be so funny.
That everyone just dies
Everything kills you.
constantly.
Well, what
Constant
what
death.
can you do? She had a splinter. Oh God, I can't wait. And I like the idea of him breaking out into movies. I think that he's gonna come out with a lot of really great stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what he needs to do. And stay away from TV. Stop it.
Yeah. Also in the news this week, the 2014 South by Southwest Film Festival released its full lineup, almost full lineup. They didn't announce the midnight series or the what's it called, Midnighters. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't announce the Midnighter series of the shorts programming. I'm always a fan of the Midnighter series, but what's going to be playing there? Chef is the big one. They previously announced that. That's the new Jon Favreau.
Yes.
Interested in that. I like the idea of him returning to the indie comedy. There were a couple other ones. David Gordon Green's Joe is going to be there. They're doing a world premiere of Neighbors, the new Seth Rogen. So pretty excited to see that. Ryan was over the moon when he found that out. Did you take a look at this lineup? Did you see any?
I did. There's a couple things, but unfortunately, I pretty much forgot them already.
Yeah, there were a couple there. So far, there are 115 movies on the list. A lot of them were playing at other festivals like Sundance. Like Obvious Child's going to be there, Wetlands, bunch of stuff. The new Nacho Vigalondo movie, Open Windows, is going to be there.
I also saw Veronica Mars is going to be there. That's
another one Ryan was over the moon about. Just kidding.
There was a couple. I mean, I don't know. I was sort of let down by what's here.
Yeah, there was nothing that like really like jumped out at me.
Yeah.
But I haven't really started going through the list. So there's probably going to be some hidden gems in there like usual. One of the things about this year is that they're doing a whole programming series on TV, which is kind of new. Because I remember last year they did Bates Motel.
Yes.
And they premiered that there. This year they got a whole bunch of TV that's going to premiere. The From Dusk Till Dawn TV series is going to premiere there. The new Mike Judge HBO series called Silicon Valley, which I'm definitely interested in, is going to premiere there. And there's a couple other ones.
This also marks the return of Josh Hartnett. Josh Hartnett's back.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Penny Dreadful.
Oh yeah, the Showtime show. I didn't know he was in that.
Josh Hartnett, comeback.
I'm actually interested in it. I did see a promo for that. I'm kind of interested in that one. The Raid 2 will be playing there, but I read that it's just one screening.
What?
Yeah. And Ping Pong Summer, which is one that I was pissed off that I missed at Sundance, that'll be there too. So stay tuned for we'll have plenty of coverage coming up for that. And I think that the Shorts and Midnighters is going to be announced February 12th or somewhere around there. So stay tuned for that. We can go ahead and jump into some Oscar stuff.
Oscars.
Ready to do that?
Sure.
So this year, let's just go down. We can just go down or highlight the big ones, and then maybe we could just go over what we think is going to win. Best Picture, we have American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, and Wolf of Wall Street.
There's a couple in there that shouldn't be in there.
Well, again, 10 spots, only 9 nominees. You couldn't find one more inside Llewyn Davis, baby? No?
I'm surprised. That's one of the biggest surprises to me is that got pretty much, one? I think it got one nomination. I think it was cinematography.
Yeah, it got cinematography.
I think that's it.
It didn't even get song. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Come on. I'm gonna predict 12 Years a Slave for Best Picture.
Yeah. Yes, I would agree.
I think that the closest one, I think American Hustle has a chance, but I think just because of the nature of the film, it's not going to get it.
Yes. I mean, I hate to say this, but you have a movie about slavery that's quite good. I mean, I don't think that the Academy is going to screw that up and
Yeah.
not give that award. And then also they have their first chance ever to give a black director the award for Best Director. I don't think they're going to pass that chance up either.
Yeah, I'm also predicting 12 Years a Slave for directing. I think that Steve McQueen's got it locked. Also nominated in that category is David O. Russell for American Hustle, Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity, Alexander Payne for Nebraska, and Scorsese for Wall Street.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think McQueen does deserve it. I think he does deserve the award. Out of the people you just mentioned, I think
Yeah, I agree.
his direction was the best.
I don't know, Cuarón, I don't know, Gravity, that's got a good shot too, but let's see. Actor in a leading role, we have Christian Bale for American Hustle, Bruce Dern for Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio for The Wolf of Wall Street, Chiwetel Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave, and Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. What are you thinking on that one?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I'm saying DiCaprio.
I think it should be DiCaprio as well. Better not be McConaughey. I mean, I liked him in that movie, but I can't believe he won the Golden Globe for that.
Yeah, it was a surprise.
I'd say DiCaprio. I'd be pretty happy with anyone winning that, really. Any one of those five.
Documentary feature, Act of Killing, is what I'm predicting on this. But
Yeah, if that does not win, if 20 Feet from Stardom fucking wins that, I will.
Now, I haven't seen
pissed.
20 Feet from Stardom, but it didn't really appeal to me.
Who the hell wants to see it? Who gives a shit about backup singers? Why is there a documentary about backup singers?
There's a documentary about everything
I know.
these days.
God.
Also nominated is The Square, Dirty Wars, and Cutie and the Boxer. I think if any of those other ones have a chance, it'll either be Dirty Wars or Square.
I would say The Square. Even though
Probably The Square.
I tried to watch The Square and I couldn't finish it.
I didn't attempt to watch it yet. That is on Netflix, so you can check that.
I think they're
I think a lot of these are on Netflix.
I think all 5 are on Netflix. Maybe not 20 Feet for Stardom, but I know the other 4 are.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got actor in a supporting role. I'm just kind of randomly going through these. There's no rhyme or reason.
Just pick them out. There's no rhyme or reason with the Academy either, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
Actor in a supporting role, we have Barkhad Abdi for Captain Phillips, Bradley Cooper for American Hustle, Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave, Jonah Hill in Wolf of Wall Street, and Jared Leto in Dallas Buyers Club. I'm going to say Jared Leto for that one.
I hope not.
I'm going to say...
I can't believe he won for that. He was in that
I think he was great.
I thought he was pretty good, but he's definitely not the best.
Or Fassbender.
I would say Fassbender, but I don't think it's going to go to him.
Well, who do you think it's going to go to? Jonah Hill?
No.
Could this be his year?
No, it'll probably be Leto.
Yeah. Actress in a leading role, we have Amy Adams for American Hustle, Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Judi Dench for Philomena, and Meryl Streep for August Osage County. What are you thinking on that one?
I would hope it would be Streep or Blanchett. If it's anyone else, I would be disappointed.
I'm predicting Blanchett for that.
And especially if it's Sandra Bullock. If they give Sandra Bullock another goddamn Oscar, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Blanchett.
But I gotta say, I'm really surprised by Philomena being Best Picture. I forgot to mention that when we talked about Best Picture.
I haven't seen it, so I can't really
completely
say.
Out of place, but I guess it does seem right up the Academy's alley.
Yeah, it's a Weinstein, so
Yeah.
odds are in its favor.
Yeah.
Actress in a supporting role, we have Sally Hawkins for Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o
Nailed it.
for 12 Years a Slave,
Killed it.
Julia Roberts in August Osage County, and June Squibb in Nebraska. June Squibb, great choice to add her.
Yeah.
But I'm
It better.
reluctantly.
Don't even get me started on Jennifer Lawrence.
It's gonna go to her.
I know. It's such.
She's
bullshit.
gonna win.
They're fucking in love with her.
But I don't even understand. Like, honestly, like there's some things where I don't agree with the result, but for her being nominated and probably winning for that role, I don't even get it.
I don't understand it at all.
Because she had so little to do in that movie, and everybody else in that movie was just as good as her.
Yeah.
I mean, what makes her performance better?
I don't get it. I can't believe she won for Silver Linings Playbook. I mean, I thought that was an absolute travesty.
I don't agree with that, but at least I can kind of understand that she actually had something to do in that movie.
They're just in love with her, and they want her up on the stage giving the quirky acceptance speech and doing interviews, and they are just madly in love with Jennifer Lawrence.
I want Sally Hawkins to win that.
I would say Lupita or Sally Hawkins.
Oh yeah, Lupita too.
I think that Julia Roberts that might have been like one of her best performances, but compared to everyone else, no. I don't think it's close to it. It might be on par with Jennifer Lawrence. A little bit better than Jennifer Lawrence.
Better, yeah. Animated feature film. We have The Croods, Despicable Me 2, Ernest and Celestine,
yes.
Frozen, and The Wind Rises.
I just bought that.
Oh yeah?
Bought it from the UK. I'm waiting on it. Because it's not out in the US. Bullshit. I hope that wins, because that looks amazing to me.
It looks like the Charmin commercial. That's what it looks like. Every time I see it, I think that it's the Charmin commercial.
I wonder if it's the same animator.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm gonna predict Frozen.
Yeah, probably.
But I kind of hope The Wind Rises.
I would enjoy that too, but I doubt.
Just because it's it's Miyazaki's last movie. I think he deserves it.
They might do that.
Maybe. Something tells me Frozen though, because that's huge. That's like crushing records and stuff.
Well, they're doing sing-along showings now.
Yeah, I saw that. It's great for kids, horrible for parents. Cinematography, we have The Grand Master, Gravity, Inside Llewyn Davis, Nebraska, and Prisoners. I'm going to predict Gravity.
Yes, Gravity's going to win, obviously.
Let's see. We could do visual effects. I'm gonna predict Gravity on that one too.
Yes.
Also nominated is The Hobbit, Iron Man 3, Lone Ranger, and Star Trek Into Darkness. Foreign language film. I haven't seen some of these. I've only seen 2 of these actually. Broken Circle Breakdown, The Great Beauty, The Hunt, The Missing Picture, and Omar.
Yeah.
I'm predicting The Great Beauty because I heard really great things about that.
I think it'll be The Great Beauty.
Let's see. I haven't seen. Have you watched any of the shorts yet?
No, I have not yet.
Yeah, we're gonna be covering the shorts. We do have a review up for the animated shorts, and I did watch all of them, but we'll have more coverage on the other shorts later. So I can't really predict any of those since I haven't seen most of them. Original score, we have The Book Thief, Gravity, Her, Philomena, Saving Mr. Banks.
I would hope Her.
That's what I'm predicting.
But
I'm also predicting Her for production design.
It'll probably, that should definitely win for production design. But I have a feeling that a score will probably go to Desplat or Williams.
I could see Her easily being snubbed for everything.
Because
usually that happens a lot, where there's like one movie that gets nominated for a bunch and it just gets completely snubbed.
I would hope that the one thing if they only win one award, I would hope that it would be for Best Original Screenplay.
I don't know. I think American Hustle has a really good shot at that one.
But I think it should be Her. Because, American Hustle, how original is that?
Exactly.
You're basing it off of something that happened.
Yeah.
You take artistic license with it, but the whole concept already exists.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty much it. There's some songs here. Happy from Despicable Me 2, Let It Go from Frozen, The Moon Song from Her, and Ordinary Love from Mandela.
You forgot Alone Yet Not Alone from Alone Yet Not Alone. What movie is that?
That got removed.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, they revoked that one.
What happened?
Okay, so
I did not hear about this.
The thing is, the guy on the Academy that decides the nominees nominated himself for that song.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, huge conflict of interest. So they people were like kind of pissed off about it, so they revoked it.
You know what? I actually applaud that. That is a ballsy move.
It is a ballsy move.
I like that guy. Why not?
So there you have it. Oscars airing live on ABC March 2nd, 7 o'clock Eastern. You probably don't need to tune in till about 8 or 9. And I'm sure that there's going to be red carpet coverage for like 5 hours prior.
Oh, man. The first 2 days are going to be red carpet coverage. It's ridiculous.
Oscars Red Carpet Live, presented by Nissan.
Good Lord.
I don't know. What are you thinking overall on the Oscars this year?
I don't care. I'm serious. Every year passes, and I
Less and less.
yeah, and
You
I
just care
lean
less.
I lean more towards the Gold Globes. Like they're more fun for me to watch. I
I'm more excited. I'm more excited to watch the Independent Spirit Awards.
yeah, those as well. I mean, for me, the Academy is just a studio circle jerk.
Yeah,
That's
I
all it
agree.
is. It's just them standing in a circle, jerking off and patting each other on the back.
Yep, I agree. Well, there you have it. Oscars 2014. Do it. Check it out.
Check it out. Zoom to the
Check it out. Next week, let's do some predictions. So last week, we predicted That Awkward Moment. You said 62, I said 50, actual 23.
Oh,
Mm,
I thought that was going to be a little bit better. I thought they were
Yeah.
going to like that a little bit better.
yeah.
Whoops.
Oops. Next week, we have The Monuments Men. What are you thinking on Monuments Men? Clooney.
Clooney.
Clooney directed
Clooney making
and starred.
like an old school Hollywood film.
Here's
I
a
have
little.
I have no idea.
I don't know either, but here's a hint. There are some reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and this movie currently has like a 35%.
Wow. I'm gonna say that's gonna come up a little bit to
Yeah,
like a I would
hope so.
60.
60?
60.
I'm gonna say. See, I don't know. Like I'm really interested in this. I think it looks pretty fun.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't look good, but it looks entertaining.
I'll say 55. I don't know how many reviews have been counted so far. I didn't look that up.
I just saw that Labor Day has a 32%.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
yeah, yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
That's one I will not be seeing. The Lego Movie.
Oh,
Now I'm so excited for the Lego Movie. I've been watching all the TV spots and stuff for this, and each one I laugh and laugh and laugh. I think it's gonna be great. So I'm gonna say like 86.
I'm gonna say 186. I'm gonna say 88.
I mean, it's a movie made with Legos, about Legos,
That sounds amazing.
and it's got an amazing cast too, voice cast,
Yes, please.
and it's directed by the guys that did 21 Jump Street. Come on,
Exactly.
Vampire Academy.
No thanks. I'm,
What are you thinking on Vampire Academy?
they suck at school.
Ooh,
Clever.
pun.
Clever. Like it. Wordplay. 6.
I'm gonna say 18. I don't think anybody's gonna be buying into this thing. In limited release next week, we have A Fantastic Fear of Everything with Simon Pegg.
Oh shit, we talked about that like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Cool.
Finally getting a U.S. release. It's bad.
Yeah.
Don't see it.
I saw nothing but bad things.
It's bad. It's very bad. After the Dark, which we previously mentioned.
Did you gave that a glowing review? I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Quite good.
If you're into philosophy,
Kill yourself.
no, actually, if you're into philosophy, you will be offended by that.
I can imagine.
A Field in England, Ben Wheatley.
Yeah.
They released a new poster for that this week. Jay Shaw did a poster, and it looks amazing.
Fantastic. I'm waiting to see that so where I need subtitles for that film. I don't understand a goddamn word they're saying.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. It's a tricky movie.
And
Nurse.
I feel like you really have to understand what they're saying.
Yeah, probably. Nurse 3D.
This
Name
is,
says it all. Name says it
I'm
all.
gonna say it too.
Nurse 3D. And Love and Air Sex.
What?
That was yeah,
What?
Love and Air Sex.
Love and air?
Air Sex.
Air sex.
That was actually that had a title change, and I can't remember what it was. It premiered at South by, and I remember getting emails about it like all the time. It's the one that it takes place, I think, in Austin, and it's about like a guy whose girlfriend broke up with him or something, and
The bounce back.
bounce back. That's it.
The bounce
I
back.
like the bounce back better.
Love and air sex is the dumbest title for anything.
Yeah, it's stupid. So that's pretty much it for limited release stuff. On video on demand next week, we have After the Dark, Art of the Steel, Cavemen, and Nurse 3D. I actually don't know too much about Art of the Steel or Cavemen.
None of those sound good.
No, it's kind of a mediocre week for video on demand. DVD and Blu-ray releases, we have About Time.
Oh yes.
About Time. We
Yes.
have baggage Claim, which is even more exciting than About Time. Banshee Chapter.
Thank
God. Some found footage horror.
Is it about banshees?
No, it's stupid.
Oh come on.
It's really dumb. Again, kind of an interesting premise, but fails miserably.
It would be more interesting if it was about banshees.
It would be.
That's what needs to be next.
Banshees.
Banshees. Get on that, Hollywood.
I'm down. Like a teen thriller
Yeah.
about banshees.
Banshees.
Blood Brother, which is a documentary that I heard a lot of good things about that one. Cutie and the Boxer.
Which is, oddly enough, has been on Netflix for like the last 3 months.
Yeah, it's been on Netflix for a while. Dallas Buyers Club. Definitely recommend that. Escape Plan. I actually had fun with Escape Plan. I had a good time with that movie. It's not good, obviously, but it's fun. It's like a good old 80s action throwback. It doesn't take itself that too seriously.
As long as it doesn't do that. And as long as it entertains.
Yeah.
That's all you want.
And Mother of George.
I enjoyed that one.
Another 80s action throwback. Mother of George.
Pretty much nailed it.
Yep. Any others that I missed?
There was one Criterion coming out, and that's Jules and Jim from 1962, Truffaut's, which is hailed as one of the finest films ever made.
I hear that a lot, though. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I always hear that it's, well, this is one of the best movies ever made. Like, how many of those are there?
Yeah.
Like 1,000?
I think this one's like the sort of the shining jewel of the French New Wave. I still haven't seen it yet.
Wasn't
it's
It's a
finally-
Mad World coming out on Criterion? Or is that not out yet?
I think that already came.
Did it come
Or
out
was
already?
it either came? Yeah, I think it just came out.
Yeah, because I knew that was coming out. That's kind of cool. All right, well, I think that will wrap it up. Next week, I would anticipate us talking about either Monuments Men and or Lego Movie.
Maybe.
Are you planning on seeing either of those?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Just
Awesome.
Just a heads up.
Yeah,
So
maybe
it should be
we'll get
it should be a great discussion.
All right, well, we'll work that out. For all the latest film news and reviews, visit us at filmpulse.net. Follow us on Twitter at filmpulse.net. Be sure to rate us on iTunes. We appreciate that very much. For filmpulse.net, my name is Adam,
And I'm Kevin.
and we'll see you on Thursday for Ryan Watches a Movie.
I see those vampires sucking blood. I hear those dull thuds. I guess it's either trick or treat. I'm a spy boy.
You should have gave him Labor Day.
Oh, fuck.
It looks like looks like the most ridiculous movie.